I am so glad you are here today. Hey, it's Adri with Horse, and today we're going to be talking about how to safely approach, halter, lead, and tie a horse. You have things to do today, I'm sure, so let's get right into it. Okay, we're starting with approaching the horse. Be nice and loud, not too loud that you scare them, but loud enough that they're aware of our presence. So target spotted. That horse right over there is the horse we are going for. So I'm approaching her at her shoulder, because horses, they have really good vision as far as seeing all around them, except they do have blind spots directly in front and directly behind. So for that reason, I'm gonna approach her at the shoulder. Hi, Saoirse, in a nice calm voice. And what you can do is put your lead rope, oh, hi, girly. Put your lead rope around their neck so you have a good way to hold them. And then you can proceed one of two ways. You can undo the buckle part right here and slide it up their nose behind the pole and buckle like so. And then your horse is haltered. Good girl. Another way you can do it, let's just reverse this. Putting the lead rope over the neck. To reverse the process, you reverse the process, so just take it off her. So I'm gonna do this buckle back up and I'll show you how to do it the other way. The other way would be, instead of unbuckling and buckling here, you clip or unclip this part. So what that's gonna look like, go ahead and undo your clip. You can go ahead and put your lead rope around your horse's neck, so again, you have control. Then you're gonna go ahead and put their little nose through. Good girl. Pop the nose through, put their little ears forward, and then clip this part right here. So that is how to put a nylon halter on a horse a couple of different ways. The next thing we're gonna show you is how to put a rope halter on. It's a little bit different, so let's get into it. A handy dandy rope halter. So, similar with the nylon halter, go ahead, put the lead rope around the neck. Good girly. You're gonna go ahead, put the nose piece through. Good girl. Then you're gonna go ahead, just like you would with a nylon halter, swing this piece over. You'll notice we have this little loopy here. So what you're gonna do is just put this piece through the loop, and you're gonna wanna put the loop pretty high up so that it fits snugly. You don't want this to be dangling on your horse's face. You're gonna take this part, go behind and underneath the loop. Don't go here. That's gonna be really hard for you to undo in an emergency because rope halters are not breakaways. So under this loop right here and behind it, and pull it through. And this way, this piece is pointing away from the horse's eye. Now we'll go over how to lead a horse. It is the same whether you have a rope halter or nylon halter. So let's just keep the rope halter on. So leave some slack in your lead rope, usually a couple feet, and you're gonna, with your other hand, make sure the lead rope is not looped around your hand like that. That's a big hazard, so I'm not gonna leave my hand like that for too long for demonstration purposes. Hi, Brookie, can you make yourself scarce? Thank you. So, standing near your horse's throat latch, which is right around here, this area here, you're gonna say walk on, making it super obvious for your horse that you want them to walk on. And you might have to pull a little bit, good girl. And as soon as they start to move after you've pulled them, you release the pressure, stop pulling. That's how they know that they've done the right thing. Releasing pressure at the right moment. Now to turn left, pull a little bit to the left. Like so. We're gonna keep going left. Good girl, good girl. Walk on. We're gonna walk to the left. And to get them to stop, you just plant your feet and you go, ho, and you can pull back slightly. Good girl. stop pulling once they've stopped. Now to go to the right, you put pressure toward the right and you start to walk that way. Good girl. And this can be a little trickier because horses are used to you doing everything on the left side. But if they can follow your lead and move away from you, that's super important. You're gonna have to do that on a daily basis. And same to stop. Good girl. Back up. Good girl. Back up. Good girl. Next, we can go over how to tie a horse. Let's say you want to tie your horse to this post here. You would use what's called a quick release knot. So with your horse on your right end, you're gonna go ahead and pop this behind your post. Go ahead and make this into a little loop like so. And then make this into a loop as well. Then you're gonna go behind both of these and pull this through and tighten like so. That way, your horse can pull and they're not going anywhere. But if you have to get your horse out of a situation, you simply pull this and it comes free. And that way your horse won't injure itself. I'm going to show you how to go ahead and tie up a longer line of lead rope to something using a quick release knot. So you're going to loop it around your post or whatever you're tying it to. You're going to, obviously this is a longer lead rope. You don't want too much slack like so where she could potentially put a hoof through. You're going to need it much shorter, about 1.5 to 2 feet in length. You don't want it super short either where any movement is going to pull. Leave a little bit of slack with your tail end of your lead rope, so the part that doesn't have the horse on the other end. You're going to, same as the other lead rope, make a loop, make another loop, put it behind these, and pull it through, and then just tighten. Now, as you can see, that's kind of a big loop. You're probably going to want to shorten that a little bit just so, or make that loop smaller so your horse's hoof doesn't go through it. Now, you don't want this long tail on the ground. See how it's on the ground right here? That's a hazard if the horse steps on it. It's just kind of ridiculous. Some horses can even pull on these, like Saoirse can pull on this and get herself free. So what you can do is take a little loop and put it through your existing loop. And that's shorter. But you see, it's still kind of on the ground. So what you can do still, take another bit, loop it, and put it through this loop. And that way, it's kind of contained. If you're really picky about it, you can go ahead and put the tail end through this loop here. And if there's an emergency, it's all quick release. Bam! And that is how you tie up a long piece of lead line to a post. As you can see, there are some differences between a nylon halter and a rope halter. So the rope halter has these little thinner bands on them and these little balls here. Now this is a harsher halter than a nylon halter, meaning when I cue her to stop or go backward by applying pressure, she feels it more acutely on her face because it's a smaller surface area, and then of course we have knots pressing on her face. So this is a good halter if you're training a horse, if your horse is really pushy. But if you have a well-behaved horse and you're just doing daily handling, a nylon halter is best. If you have to turn out your horse to pasture, never turn them out in a rope halter because, like I said, they are not breakaway halters. Let me show you what you have to do to get your horse out of a halter. You would have to push this loop upward and push your tail end out. It's not a quick release. Your horse will get injured. If there's an emergency, use the least amount of pressure necessary that is still effective, because these can be uncomfortable for the horse. There's some rope halters that have extra knots here. They're even thinner. They can have like little bits of metal on them. I've seen that, but I just use a regular mild rope halter that they have. Rope halters, nylon halters, how do you know which one is best for you? Let's go into a quick breakdown of the pros and cons of each. So starting with rope halters, the benefits are they can provide better communication because they are thin. The not supply focus pressure for clearer cues, which is great for groundwork or fixing pushy horses. They're also light and simple. There's no rattling hardware. They're easy to pack or use under a bridle. They're also very durable and super easy to clean. They don't stretch out or rot, and they're really quick to just hose off. They're also very inexpensive. Usually they're cheaper than nylon or leather halters. The cons, and this is a big one, they are not breakaway. This is super dangerous if left on in a pasture or tied. It can cause serious injury if the horse pulls back. They're also less forgiving. Thin rope can dig into the horse if the horse fights the pressure. It must be fitted and knotted properly every single time, and it can rub if left on for long periods of time. Now on to nylon halters. Nylon halters are flat web and often with hardware. The benefits of these halters are they are quick and convenient. They buckle or snap, which makes them super easy to take on and off. They're also very comfortable. With wider straps, it distributes the pressure on the horse's face more evenly, and it's softer on the face. There are breakaway options. Many have a leather crown or fuse for safe turnout. They're adjustable, stylish, you can get them personalized. They come in all kinds of colors, padding, nameplates, and they're super easy for sizing. The drawbacks: you get less control with a nylon halter. Because it's a broader noseband, it dulls the pressure, and pushy horses can lean or pull with these sort of halters. There's a safety risk with nylon halters as well. Non-breakaway versions can trap a horse if caught, so make sure if you are using a nylon halter, consider getting a breakaway strap. Another drawback to the nylon halter is that there's buckles and snaps, and those can break and rust over time. For a lot of equestrians, you're gonna go back and forth between your halter types. Sorry, there are tons of bugs out here. I should have lit a candle. But it depends on the situation and the horse. If you're doing groundwork or training, a rope halter can be the better option. If you're just daily handling or grooming, a nylon halter is a great choice because they're comfortable and quick. If you're turning your horse out with a halter, a breakaway nylon is definitely the halter you're gonna grab. If you're trailering, you should also use a leather breakaway or a nylon with a leather breakaway strap, because that is much safer in emergency situations. So it really depends on the situation, the horse, what you're comfortable with. There's no right or wrong choice, but let me know in the comments what your preference is and why. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing for more videos. Let me know in the comments if you are team rope halter or team nylon halter. Personally, I like the nylon halters, but rope halters do have a place and time. Don't forget to tune into my next video next week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment. Bye. That one might have been a little bit too desperate. I know. I'll fix this. If you wanna, like, I don't know, stick around, just watch my next video next week, or don't, like, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. See you next week. Or maybe I won't. No, but for real, I'll see you next time.